Moving on, going to the NBA.
Yeah, we have a bunch of NBA headlines, and we're going to talk a little bit between each one. First, the Golden State Warriors All-Star Kevin Durant suffered a freak injury when a player was thrown into him. Actually threw him into, it was like right under the knee, resulted in him hyperextending his knee, which is never good, caused him to suffer a bone bruise and a sprained MCL. The injury is going to cause him to miss 4 weeks, and then the team signed Matt Barnes shortly after. The very hated Matt Barnes, not the cleanest player. Barnes played for the Warriors in 2007 with Baird Davis and Steven Jackson. With this signing, the team will no longer be able to sign Jose Calderon. And speaking of Jose Calderon, after a crazy week for him, it ends in being signed by the Atlanta Hawks. The Warriors did right by signing him, then waiving him, which secured his eligibility to play in the playoffs, which was definitely nice by them.
Yeah, because he didn't have to.
Right. And I mean, the Hawks are one of the upstanding teams in the East right now. A lot of good teams in the East. So
East got better, the West got worse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even the Warriors got worse in the West,
and they added Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Come on, what does that tell you?
Point guard Brandon Jennings from the Knicks has actually reached an agreement with the Washington Wizards to remain with the team for the remainder of the year. The Wizards have finally found their backup point guard and seem poised to compete for the second seed, which I actually believe they just took over from the Celtics. They will be competing with the Raptors and Celtics for the rest of the year.
In that specific division, or you mean the second seed?
The East,
the Wizards.
The Wizards. I believe they just took East yesterday, or the second seed in the East. Obviously, the Cavs are far ahead, and then the Raptors and Celtics are also right there. I believe the Celtics are third.
Wow.
The Celtics lost a crazy game last night. I don't know if
did
you happen to see the highlights last night for the Celtics?
No.
Our buddy Andy is a big Celtics fan. He was probably crying when he watched this. The one kid for the Suns stole the ball away from Isaiah Thomas, shot up a three. It was 106.
Yeah.
Shot up a three, NCAA style three.
Was it Devin Booker?
God, I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Because Eric Bledsoe, Devin Booker, and I think another guy all have game-winning shots for the Suns this year. They're all from Kentucky, so it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And interesting, very interesting.
Well, they're used to that pressure, that March Madness pressure. Center Andrew Bogut has committed to playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers for the remainder of the season after being asked to be released from the 76ers after a trade brought him there to Philadelphia. Bogut will earn the veterans minimum, which is $407,000, and will become a coveted big man that Cleveland has been looking for.
Whether he's effective or not is up for debate.
Yeah, but I mean, Bogut was pretty effective back when, but it's been a long time now. I can't believe how long it's been since he's been in the league.
I know he
feel
was just a kid from Australia.
Yeah. It's it's one of those
things.
He
was a buck for a long time.
Yeah, that's the time he came over with. But when you look back 10 years and you think like, what kind of music was coming out? Where were these big names in sports? And you look back and you're like, holy hell, I'm 25 years old. I can't believe this. It feels like yesterday. The New York Knicks were not playing. Actually, this was just last night. They did not play any in-game music, videos, or entertainment for the entire first half of the Warriors game, and I believe they're doing it throughout the rest of the year.
They are.
MSG told its fans through a message on the big screen to just watch the game in its purest form and enjoy the natural sounds of the game. I did read a little commentary from Frank Isola. He was on ESPN today. He said that he thought it was nice for the older fans who might have hearing problems and can't exactly handle the noise on top of the crowd all night. But it is, for the younger fans that are, need the interaction, could be boring. And I did hear, Draymond Green, who's always complaining about something. He complained and said it threw everybody off, and that it was the most dumb thing he'd ever heard. I'm sure there was a few expletives there.
Do you buy anything from this? Like, do you take anything from not playing music?
It seems pointless, I guess.
What?
It's
the
fun
music is pointless?
No, the whole cutting it down.
Right.
I mean, it's a cool idea, I guess, but what's it going to sell? It's not going to do that much. It's just something stupid for the Knicks to do to distract the hell that team is putting its fans through.
No, it was actually there was a Knicks headline that I did not put on, and it was Larry Brown talking about how if Phil wants to run the triangle, maybe he should coach it himself.
Yeah.
And so that's just one thing. Like, the music ain't gonna fix it. You need Phil Jackson to come down from the press box and actually coach the team and travel with the team and not just coach home games. I think he wanted to do. And like, what?
This dude's a joke.
Yeah, this dude's a joke. So what I'm saying is Philly boy, if you want to run the team, I think you should do it from the floor. No? Am I like crazy for thinking like?
I mean,
he's trying to play puppet master from top, and it's just
Right.
it's clearly not working.
Personally, as a Knicks fan, I prefer him to just get the hell out of there. It's
Go marry
I've
Jeannie
been-
Buss. Don't have no.
I've been saying this for weeks on the show now that I just can't stand the whole show that they have going on there. And
It's a
They
disgrace.
can't do anything.
They're not even putting a product on the court. All right, last.
The NBA is going to be bolstering their officiating. They want to increase their staff by 25% over the next 3 seasons, and there will be a brand new officiating advisory committee. This new committee will consist of current and former players and coaches. And the last headline that we have here for the NBA before we hop into jam-packed NHL or NFL headline section,
Oh my God.
jam-packed NFL story. Commissioner Adam Silver wants to make other changes to the league, and it now involves the NBA All-Star Game. He said it needs to go through a reset. He and Chris Paul are working with owners Jeannie Buss and Michael Jordan, both who have been in the news a ton recently. They're working together as to how to bring it back to from what it has turned into.
Right.
Paul has suggested a 4-point shot and players picking teams instead of fan balloting the roster. What would your opinion be on that?
It did wonders for the NFL. It brought up ratings really a lot when they had Team Irvin and Team Rice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did it one more time next year, the next year after that. And then it kind of lost its flair. But it was a cool concept. Because, like, let's say you would name Carmelo Anthony the captain of the team. You know what I mean? He would have Dwayne Wade, and he would have LeBron James. And if for whatever reason Chris Paul were to come to the East, which I don't think is happening, right?
Right.
It would be cool to think of that and say, like, oh, these guys can pick and choose their teams, more chemistry maybe. But, like I said, just a thought. Those are sirens. Remember, this is Young and Dominant Sports Talk, coming to you live from Broad and Girard in the third most important city in the country, Philadelphia.
Most important in our hearts.
In our hearts. You know, maybe that's what that should be our little kick line.
Yeah, exactly.
Philadelphia,
I like it.
third most important city in the country, most important city in our hearts. I like that because I effing love this place.
Yeah. Well, if you guys watching don't know, Broad and Girard, it's a pretty rat shit corner here in Philadelphia.
Oh, come on. Come on, I live here.
There's a lot of mess outside, so it's the sirens are a normal thing here. But
Yeah.
what can you do? We
Especially with the
apologize.
Omni microphone, you can't get the hookup. We have to go through the iPhone. It's annoying me.
We do have we have about 2 minutes here to talk about that NBA All-Star game if you'd like to.
I would, because it just like the NFL, there's no reason to play it. There's no reason to play it anymore. There's no incentive for
Right.
players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because MLB exhibition game. I mean, you think or All-Star game, you think it's an exhibition, but the winner of that conference, whoever goes to the championship or the World Series from that conference, gets home field advantage. So we've seen in years past Game 7 being important. Well, I guess Game 7 really home or away. You know what I mean? It almost doesn't matter. But having 4 out of the 7 games at home, especially if you're the New York Yankees, it's a team that historically has been built around hitting home runs.
Right.
It's nice to be at the short right porch at Yankee Stadium.
Well, I mean, whether you're a Red Sox fan who feels disadvantaged by that or whatever, but as far as the All-Star games go, I've thought in depth, pretty much about how you can fix it to make it more enjoyable or make them want to compete more in it.
Right.
I just simply don't see it. It's like a roadblock. It feels like I'm not quite sure what the NBA can do, and not quite sure what the NFL can do. There needs to be some sort of incentive, but with the NFL, at least with such a hard-hitting sport, these guys don't want to get injured and ruin their next year. And the NBA, it's
And we see with Kevin Durant, one stupid move.
Freak accident.
Freak accident, really. Paul George, same thing. You're putting a lot at risk for a game that doesn't mean anything. NHL, they're trying to do new things because their All-Star game is becoming And because money has become so important with insurance and injury policies, we're experiencing poor performance on a political level.
Right.
These guys are not wanting to void their contracts or not be there for their teams. And when it comes down to it, you pay to play. You get paid to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're not on the court, you simply somehow, some way, whether it's through lack of incentives or what, are losing money.
Right.